Welcome to the Great Chefs of New Jersey. When people think about New Jersey, they think about the Turnpike and the Sopranos, or maybe a night of gambling in Atlantic City, or the wide beaches along the Jersey Shore. What few people realize is that New Jersey is home to over 20,000 restaurants and eateries. This number has increased 40% over the past 10 years and is still growing, reflecting New Jerseyans' passion for great food. The Great Chefs of New Jersey will spotlight restaurants throughout the state that are committed to bringing this passion to life. During the series, we will visit with a number of selected executive chefs and their restaurants in each of the 4 regions of the state: Northern New Jersey, Central New Jersey, Southern New Jersey, and the Jersey Shore. As we begin the series by visiting the great chefs of the Jersey Shore, remember the 3 things that make a great restaurant. Number 3, location, location, location. Number 2, ambiance and decor. And the number 1 thing that makes a restaurant a success, the chef and the food he prepares. And now, let's visit with the great chefs of New Jersey at the Jersey Shore.
Hi, I'm Mike Trez. I'm the executive chef at the Atlantic Bar and Grill.
And now, let's meet our first chef, Michael Trez. Executive Chef Michael Trez is a 23-year veteran in the food service industry. His travels have led him to work for celebrity chefs all around the country, where he perfected his cooking style, which Mike likes to call transcontinental fusion. After winning numerous awards and working in some of the best restaurants in the country, Chef Mike is now at the Atlantic Bar and Grill, where he creates exciting new dishes for you to enjoy. Today, Chef Mike took some time from his busy day in the kitchen to talk with us. A couple of things we were immediately interested in knowing were what got Mike initially interested in cooking and food preparation, and where he got his formal training as a chef.
I loved cooking growing up. My mom was a great cook. She's a great little Italian lady that would cook some great food, and it was always a fun time in our house growing up. So I just wanted to see. I have an artistic eye, so I wanted to see where I could go with it. I went to the Ocean County Vocational Technical School in Brick for culinary arts. I graduated top of my class there. Then went on to Johnson & Wales University for culinary arts and graduated also my top of the class.
Chef Mike approaches his work in the kitchen as an artist, and as an artist, he studies and admires the work of his contemporaries. So we asked Mike to name a few chefs that have inspired some of his own preparations.
Well, right now I really love Charlie Trotter from Chicago. I think his work is phenomenal. Alfred Portel from Gotham in New York City. I love Nobu from New York City also, who does an amazing Asian fusion. And David Burke from New York City also, who's incredible talent. These chefs are cutting edge. They're taking classical preparations and kind of crumbling them up and throwing them in the garbage. And what they're doing is they're creating their own style. They're breaking down all the old culinary doors, and they're just creating great food from nothing. And that's what we're doing here. We're creating crazy food. We call it sexy food.
Like most chefs, Mike has a favorite dish to prepare, and like most of his patrons, he has a favorite dish to eat.
Probably the Chilean sea bass, because it's such a unique piece of fish, and it's so versatile. You can really do anything with it. Plus, I was one of the original chefs in the Jersey Shore area to bring it to this area back in 1995. It exploded since then. It became very, very popular. But it's a very versatile fish, and it's great to work with. I truly enjoy Japanese food and Asian food. It's unique. You can see it in my cooking style. I'm very Asian in my cooking style. I really enjoy the cuts, the flavors, the excitement of it.
Let's move into the kitchen where we can watch Chef Mike create one of his sexiest dishes and the Atlantic Bar and Grill's biggest seller, onion-crusted Chilean sea bass.
Hi, I'm Mike Trez, the executive chef at the Atlantic Bar and Grill. And today you're in my kitchen where we are going to put together one of our most popular dishes, our Chilean sea bass. The dish consists of a onion-crusted Chilean sea bass. We're doing it with charred eggplant, charred artichoke hearts, a roasted tomato chive aioli, and crispy fried leeks. We sell about 300 pounds of this dish a week, so it's a pretty #1 seller. I've been doing this dish since about 1995 with varied sauces and crusts, but it seems to be very popular. It always worked for me, and I love it. First I'd like to introduce my sous chef, Ian Cooper. He's going to assist me on making the dish. Ian's my assistant in writing menus and designing the restaurant, and he's a very, very big help for me, so we're going to put this dish together for you today. First off, we got to start with the fish. This is Chilean sea bass, which we kept ice cold. This is on ice. It's very good to work with fish that is always nice and fresh on ice. This is Chilean sea bass, also known as Patagonian toothfish, and it's a very popular fish in the States. It's a firm white fish, very good for grilling, sautéing, poaching. You can do pretty much anything with it. You can deep fry it. You can make fish tacos with it, which is awesome. I love it because it's versatile. It has a large flake and it's very buttery. So what we're going to do is show you some of the ingredients. We have some nice long stem artichoke hearts, which we marinate in a little bit of olive oil and some seasoning. We have the crust right here. This is a mixture of panko breadcrumb, which I like using panko. It's a more coarser breadcrumb, and it has some dehydrated onion in there, and it has some very, very highly seasoned product, which is all of our flavor. For our garnish, we're going to use these beautiful crispy fried leeks. These are like little tiny hay, cut paper thin. We crispy fry them and season them with some salt. We have some julienne tomato strips, some beautiful chives, and one of our big things is the charred eggplant, which Ian's going to start doing. He's going to cut the eggplant into wedges, and what we're going to do is we're going to caramelize those eggplant, until it's really, really nice and sweet. The trick to cooking the fish, there's 2 law techniques. One is getting a good crust on it. So what we're doing is we're going to egg batter it. This is just regular scrambled eggs. Okay, we're going to put it in our crust. And the trick to doing this is to really push down on that crust. You want it very, very highly seasoned and also very well coated. Okay, I keep flipping it over and I also keep pushing it down. I really want that crust to adhere to the product. The second point of this dish is the cooking technique, and that is warm olive oil. We're not going to use hot olive oil, and we need a little bit in the pan just to coat it. And the reason why is if we use hot olive oil, it's going to burn the crust, which we don't want, because we're also going to finish this dish in the oven. So by doing that, it's going to make it black, which we definitely don't want to use. Ian right now has highly seasoned the eggplant. He's placing it in a hot saute pan, and he's going to get it really caramel and crusted up real nice for our dish. My oil seems to be just about ready. We're going to take this nice piece of fish, and we're just going to place it in there. Okay. Notice what I did also is when I'm cooking it, I placed it either to the right or to the left. And the reason why is because we're going to fill the other end with the artichoke hearts and the eggplant, which is all going to be cooked in the dish exactly the same time. So we're going to wait till that comes up. You're going to see small little bubbles and a little bit of brown. Okay. And what that's going to do is let me know that the fish is nice and golden brown, which we're really looking for. And that's also going to bring out that really nice flavor. If you burn the crust, it gets very bitter, doesn't taste very good. And he's working on the beautiful eggplant. He's just got a nice caramelization on there. Okay, you're gonna flip one over. Show him. And as you can see, he's caramelizing it. He's searing it. It's getting a nice cold. That's bringing out the natural sugar. Really bring nice sweetness to this eggplant. We leave skin on, holds the eggplant together. Sometimes eggplant, when you cook it, it's based on a lot of water, it gets mushy. We leave it skin on, makes the dish look a little bit sexier too. Remember, we're doing sexy food today, so it's very, very important. As you can see, our crust is starting to bubble. Our olive oil is just coming up nice and warm. What we want to do is just flip that over. Look at that, nice and golden. The onions are starting to caramelize a little bit. At that point, we're going to put our artichokes in, okay? These are beautiful whole stem artichokes, very tasty. You can hear that sizzle. It's going right in the pan. And then we're going to add our wonderful eggplant to that. Here's the finished product. It's ready out of the oven. As you can see, the fish is nice and golden brown. The artichokes got a little crust on them. The eggplant has this little char on them. Starting to break down a little bit, really nice and soft. Okay, so that's our finished product when it comes out of the oven. Now what we're going to do is we're going to prepare it. Center of the plate, very, very important. Again, our stacking program. We're going to stack everything up. Everything is done in threes. All right, we have this nice, beautiful eggplant we're going to lay over the top. Okay, now we have a little bit of this leftover grease in the bowl. Make a little pan sauce. Okay, this is an aioli. Okay, it's got some fresh chives, fresh garlic in there, roasted tomato. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this hot pan and we just pull the fish out. We're gonna put this really nice little sexy sauce in there. Okay, put a couple of tablespoons in there of this sauce. And what we wanna do is just warm it. We don't wanna heat it up because it'll break. It is an emulsion-based sauce based on mayonnaise. We make it here. We don't use Hellmann's, we actually use real eggs and oil. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of swirling it. I don't want it to be too hot, but as you can see the color change. See how it picked up and became bright orange? Okay? That's what we want to do. We just want to drizzle that over the top. Look at that. All over, a little spin around the plate, a little bit on top of that fish. Okay? And what this does is this sauce is going to soak into that crusted fish and just make it, the smell is unbelievable right now. And it's just going to make it so you can take a piece of bread and sop it up with that goodness, sop up that sauce. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take these beautiful crispy fried leeks. Actually, first we're going to put some of this tomato garnish on there. The sauce is made with tomatoes, so we can use a nice tomato garnish on there. It's going to bring color to this dish. Then we're going to take these nice leeks and we're going to stack it up. Stack it up real high. We want that height program. Almost looks like a bird's nest right on top. Garnish it with these beautiful, beautiful chives that we have. We're going to make like a little teepee. This is called bridging. We're going to bridge up this dish. We're going to make it big and sexy. Look at that. Let's even put one on top. Let's see if we got one that could fit right in here like that. Look at that. We're going to make sure the plate is clean. We never want to serve a dirty plate. Always wiping down the rims. If we do 1 or 100 dishes, every dish looks exactly like this. That's the pride we take at the Atlantic Bar and Grill. Our Chilean sea bass at the Atlantic Bar and Grill, #1 seller. I'm Chef Mike from the Atlantic Bar and Grill. I hope you enjoyed everything.